So, the ball is nearby. We don't need it for now. All you need is yourself. If you're using the light hand weights, you'll grab them. If you want to have a chair nearby to put the weights on so you don't have to put them to the floor, we will eventually put them down. But if you want to have some, flexibility without having to squat all the way down, I wouldn't fault you for that. So, I have 3-pounders. And what we're going to do first, we don't need the weights for the time being. We're going to do some shoulder circles. We will use our wall space first. So stand. Hey, Gus. Hey, Gus. Lie down, sweetie, so they can see. Thanks. So for the standing posture, we're going to try and keep our feet underneath the hip socket. But of course, with weight bearing, if you want to feel stable and secure, so take your legs as wide as possible. Up. And I should mute you now. I'll do that first. So welcome and goodbye. So shoulder circle is 4 going back, breathing in and out. 3 and 4 and going forward. The straighter you keep your arms, the more you go into the shoulder complex itself. 3, 4. And then you're going to bend your elbows, touch your hands to your arms or to the tops of the shoulders and circle your elbows. 2, 3, 4, and allow your spine to move. 1, you're not trying to stay perfectly still in the thoracic spine, upper thoracic spine. 3, 4, good. And then we're going to do some single arm, 1 at a time. A little bit of rotation. 2, 3, 4, back paddling and forward. 1, and let your upper body kind of roll with it. 2, to relax the neck. Yeah, 3, that's right, good. 4, repeat, going to the back. 1, inhale and exhale. 3, 4, and then reversing, coming forward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Then we're going to find your wall space. We're going to walk the fingers up the wall. I'll show you from this back view, I think. You can see. So you have your hands in front of you, and you're just going to tippy-toe your fingers up the wall as high as you can go. I started with straight arms. That leaves me a little too far. So my angle's like this, and then walk the fingers back down. This is my invisible wall. A little trompe-l'oeil here. Here you go. Walking the fingers up the wall with the elbows bent, letting the elbows stay dropping down as long as possible. So the humerus is externally rotated as you reach up. And then going back down. Oops, my little trompe-l'oeil didn't work anymore. 2 more times. So really take a moment from your start position to have your elbows drop down almost by your sides. And then keep the point of the elbow pointing down towards the floor as you slowly crawl your fingertips up the wall. Yeah, you'll just hop, skip, and a jump, Polly, over the molding there and going down. And observing how keeping the elbows dropping down gives you, 1, a different stretch, but also helps to keep relaxation in the tops of the shoulders. Good, Robert, that's great. Yeah. And being honest with yourself, maybe first thing in the morning you can't reach all the way up the wall. Crawling back down. Okay. A little pound, pound, pound on the outside of the arm, coming away from the wall. And other side. Oh, okay. Then we're going to do a little Pilates foot articulation. Hands by your sides. We can actually grab our weights now. That would be good. Gives your arms something to do and gives a gentle pull to the tops of the shoulders. So, feet are in the narrower position today, right, for the moment. And we're going to start with the right foot. Feeling your nice posture. Bend the toe joints, lift the heel, and then put the heel back down. So we're articulating and then change sides. Bend the toes and back down. So if you can see in your little you, the little picture of you, if you have that up, we want to be sure that you're staying relatively still as you articulate one leg and the other leg so that the knee is bending, the hip joint is creasing, and you feel the outside of the hip dropping down as you bend the knee. So we want to kind of move fluidly through this, but we also want to go slow enough at the outset to be sure that we're not shifting from side to side, right? Lateral shifting. The lateral shifting, actually, if you see yourself swaying from side to side, is that we're not really getting that deep articulation through the joints. So reduce the range of motion. Feel like you're in a tube. Feel that you're lengthening through the back of your neck. The weights are gently bringing the shoulders down. And observe the shoulder girdle, the tops of the shoulders, wherever the start position is. Be sure that stays relatively stable. We all have one shoulder that's higher than the other. Good. One more set after this. Last time. Okie dokie. So now we're going to get into a marching sequence. Feet are warmed up. You can use this kind of foot articulation. So I got it. We're going to do, I start our interval sequence, 30 seconds of marching. Just natural. I'll start our timer. I'm so excited about this. It should be pretty annoying. Here we go. We have 5 seconds to prepare. Prepare. 2, 1. Working. So here we go. We're marching. Noticing if, like I did before we started the timer, that I did the same arm as leg. So make sure you're doing opposite arm and leg forward. So I think, Robert, you're getting opposite there. So kind of go easy with the arms to start and just let them start to go. Yeah, and observing if you're sassily shifting from side to side. 15 seconds. We're halfway there. So keep breathing. There we go, Robert. Nice job. All right. Ta-da! We did all, that was really fast. We're in our second round already. How'd that happen? The next thing, that can't be right. I'll stop it, restart it. Yes, reset the timer. Now we have squats. So we're resting our sequence, wider legs, hands by your sides, about the width of your mat if you're using it, and you'll come down and up. You can either have your hands to the outside of the knees, that's kind of a nice indicator, and up, or you can have your hands in front of you and sit back a little bit more. So if you're sitting back more, the arms can go forward to give you some counterbalance. Be sure to keep your abdominal wall supporting you. Prepare. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we just do as many squats as we can do in 30 seconds. Keeping our form. Yep. Keep breathing. Exhale to stand. Good. Nice. Inhale to bend. Be sure to take your gaze down to the corner of your wall and your floor, Robert, when you go down. Yeah, there you go. That puts your head in a lot better position. 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Rest for 15 seconds. Okay, here we go. Then we go into biceps curls. Step forward with bicep curls. So, this is what I have in mind. So we step forward like this. We're starting. This is a fast little sequence. You can also omit the stepping forward. You don't have to grab your weights if you're using the dumbbells. You can just loosely clasp the weights. Yes, Polly, be sure that you're resisting with the quad that's stepping forward. All right, rest. thing, step touch. And next week we'll add on to this. Hi, Gus. So we're going to step side to side. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Just step touch. And you can bring one hand forward, one hand back. I know, it feels kind of no big deal. Opposite arm forward as, so it's kind of like our marching sequence, yeah. And keep both hips facing forward. I'm certainly getting out of breath to start. Whew. 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, next thing, serve a tray with Pilates, heel raise and Pilates V. So, Pilates V, hands by your sides, palms face up. We'll do rises and reach forward. 2, 1, here we go. Heels together, toes apart, Polly. Yep. Yep, keep bringing the heels towards each other as you rise up. Your ballet career is imminent, y'all. So, Robert, keep trying to touch the insides of the heels together as you rise up. Keep this. So you're serving a tray. You know this, but we're not going to do it like a full reformer version. We're going to do it lower down to help keep your chest above your arms. That's it. Then we do, last thing, hug a tree with plie squats. So wide V, here we go. 2, 1. I know, isn't this fast? Robert, bring your hands lower towards your waistline. Speaking from ballet experience, you want to keep your hands around the level of your navel. Yeah. Are we schwitzing yet? Knees are tracking over toes. Inhale down, exhale up. 2, 1. Rest. And then triceps. We'll be in a wide squat position. You'll pull your arms in and reach back. Here we go. Look towards the bottom corner of your wall and your floor. Palms are facing your sides, Polly. So turn your palms to face your body. So the weights are lengthwise, and you'll have your elbows lifted to the ceiling, and you'll stretch your arms back and swing the weights forward. Good. Okay. Rest. That's the first set. Okay, so let's just put the weights down. Step touch from side to side just to keep moving. Oops. Stop. Reset the timer, yes. Okay, so, you know, it's like the music keeps going. We can't stop moving, right? I won't sing today. So now we're going to grab our ball and go to some wall. Oh, actually, we're going to go to the ball and then go to the floor. But we're going to do supported all fours kneeling with the fitness ball. So the blood is circulating through the upper body mostly. We did some weight bearing, and now we're going to do some leg stuff. So grab your friend. Everyday Eddie, Beyonce, and Sue are here representing. So the position of this is pretty key, where you might not be able to really weight bear into your hands. You want to get the hip crease as close to the edge of the ball as possible, so your pelvis is supported and your pubic bone is on the downhill slope, but you're not letting the ball curve you downwards. You're still keeping your spine in neutral. Your knees are bent and the toes are tucked under. So for me, I'm pretty much touching my fingertips to the floor in a wide position like this, like a spider grip, if you will. If I put all the way down, I start to round forward over the ball, and we want to keep the spine nice and long. So we're going to do a set of donkey kicks. You'll flex your right foot, and then you're going to try and make a footprint on the ceiling, keeping the spine and the pelvis totally still. Does So I love this one. So we'll just rehearse this a little bit because it's hard to look and I want you to be able to go with the flow as we start. Both knees stay bent so that you're not in a plank in any way. This is the equivalent of being like this in a hover, right? My knees are off of the mat, right? So this is kind of what we're going for, but that's really hard to do. So we're using the ball for some support so the joint, the knee, and the wrist don't take all the weight. So Polly, shift your weight back over the ball a little bit. And your knees will drop down towards the floor. So move back, roll yourself back a little bit. Have your toes on the mat, bend your knees more and let them drop to the floor. Yes, that looks good. So you're like, basically your knees will hover just off of the floor. I know they're on the mat right now, but they'll hover just off the floor. Next sequence is from that supported all fours position. One leg reach out, lift up and circle. So we're gonna do small little, like describing a D. We'll do 4 in each direction on each leg and then we'll change. And because it's an interval, we'll do 4 inside circles, 4 outside circles, change legs, and repeat. Then we will be kneeling and we grab our hand weights. So for now, let's grab our hand weights and put one on either side of the mat. I'm reviewing this transition here. So we'll roll the ball out of the way, we'll grab our weights. Yep. I would think that would be preferable because for what's gonna come next. Do you feel like the mat doesn't work for you? Because, okay, yeah. We're gonna be doing rowing, single leg forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we come back and then we change. So this is a twofer because I know y'all are pretty advanced movers. So 1, we've done this exercise before, Polly, where you try and step forward from standing kneeling without too much circumduction of the leg or lateral deviation, okay? So you have to roll over the top of the foot. Then we hinge forward. You can also tuck the toes under and be in a hover like this and do some rows, pulling. Palms face the midline, pull this way. So versions are kneeling. You can also just sit back and kneel this way. That works better. And then we change sides if you're doing that leg change. 4, 2, 3, 4, change. And we do that as many reps within 30 seconds as possible. Then we switch back to the ball. And we go to walls. Oh my gosh. And then we switch back to the ball one time and then we're just using the wall after that. We'll follow along. How do we feel about this? It's a lot of rigmarole, but I think you can manage it. Good, Robert. Okay, Polly, I think you might have to mute yourself one more time before we get started. So donkey kicks, circles. That's all right. Donkey kicks, circles, kneeling, rowing. If the kneeling really doesn't work for you, you can also stand. So we have options. So get yourself into supported all fours kneeling position. You want to have your thighs as close to pointing downwards as possible. Toes are tucked under. And here we go. Preparing. 2. Bend your knees more, Robert. Right leg goes up. 2, 3, 4, and change. Keep both knees bent. Bend the supporting leg more, Robert. 3, 4. You do reps of 4. 4 on each leg and then change. 2, 3, 4, change. Here we go. Whoops. No Siri. We don't need Siri. 1. Okay. 15 seconds of rest. Now we're going to do the single leg circles. Supporting leg stays bent. Working leg is straight behind you. Here we go, up and around. Oops, here, 2, 1, here we go. So 4 circles in each direction. Really reach out rather than up. 3, reach out so the leg is fully straight. Reverse directions. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then change legs. Stretch the leg fully. Reach up and out and around. 2, 3, collarbones wide. 4, reversing. 4, 3, 2, and that's the set. Sit back, move the ball, grab your hand weights. Step forward. We have 8 more seconds or 6 more seconds. So you have your weights, standing, kneeling. Yep, here we go. Step forward, lean forward, rowing. Palms face your side, elbows wide, chest open. 3, 4. Shift back, change legs. Lean forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. I think we can get one more full set in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up. We'll pause. Pause. There we go. 1. We've got to finish up even. 3 and 4. Okay. Now, weights down. Grab ball, stand, go to the wall. Lean against the ball. So that the ball starts around your lower back. So you feel your pelvis on the ball, walk your feet away from the wall, stand on your mat. 1, good. Hands up. I'll wait for you, Polly. So the legs are about at a 30-degree angle. You feel the ball in the back of the pelvis, the back of the ribs, the shoulders are probably free. Hands can go, if available, behind the head, keeping the elbows in the scapular plane, or hands can be on your hips. I'm going to do hands behind your head. That's a good choice, Robert. Okay, sit down and stand up. Yep. As you sit down, the ball rolls up to the upper back. Feel that your upper back is starting to recline and the tailbone is starting to arc underneath the ball. So we're getting some spine extension here. Exhale to stand. That's right, Robert. Keep lengthening through the back of the neck. So you're not going to touch your head to the ball. 1 more. Okay. Ditch the ball. Turn around. We're doing wall push-ups. Scapular glides to start. So pick a distance away from the wall, hands just below the shoulders. Shoulder blades slide together, and then shoulder blades slide apart. Shoulder blades slide together. Yes, Polly, to get apart. Keep the elbows really straight, but unlocked. So energetically reach through the elbow joint. Inhale to slide together, exhale to slide apart. Good, people. Collarbones wide. Last one. Good. Then we're going to do some wall push-ups here. We are doing these. And then we're going to go into wall jumps. So push-ups with the elbows diagonally down. So you do a couple push-ups here, and then let's do about 4 push-ups, regular push-ups. And then you can start to push off of the wall if you want, or stick with this version. Nice, Robert. Good. And then you just keep your plank, push yourself off the wall and catch yourself. Inhale to catch on the wall, exhale to push. Inhale to catch, exhale to push. Keep widening through the collarbones and the breastbone. And last one. Ta-da! Never mind, we're going to go back to our first sequence. Okay. Sorry, here we go. Marching from the tippy. We're going to come back to the first set with the weights. Then we do squats with the weights or not. Then we do step touch. And this time we are going to add, so ball time is over for now. We can step back and reach like a little skater. if you want to add on, or you just stay with the step touch. Right? If you do the step touch, opposite arm and leg reach front to back. Reaching for the midline. Cervitre, Pilates V, cervitre, heels spinning inwards as the balls of the feet stay grounded. So that might limit your range of motion. So cervitre, yeah, that looks nice, Robert, from the bent. So coming to the elbows. So it's a little bicep work, yeah. Then we do wide V, hug a tree. We're trying to keep, because I wanted to revisit this because it comes really fast. Trying to keep our shoulders over the hips. So yeah, Polly, it's opposite arm forward to reach long through this side, if you're doing that with the skaters. Then, triceps. It's like you're going downhill skiing. You could flare the wrists, but I think it's going to be better for the time being. Yes, Robert, and you can spiral the arm. That's certainly like more like bowling. Bowling. That works too. All right, we feeling ready? I'm definitely starting to schwitz. Yes, and there are two options also. So skater is reaching front to back without crossing over, or you can cross over, in which case, yeah, I think it's not really so much of a reach forward, it's just kind of a little this way. So if we're gonna do a step back curtsy lunge, that one's more of like lowering yourself into a crouch with the thigh crossing over. Those are all options. The crossovers, they're not gonna reach forward so much. That puts a lot of spiral load. We'll work up to that sort of thing. All right, grab your weights. We feeling ready? Balls are safely out of the way. Dogs have to move safely out of the way. I know, we still have a half hour left, people. Isn't this amazing? You're gonna get your money's worth today. Here we go, preparing. So we're marching first. 1, and marching. So start easy with the arms, get the legs going, and you're picking up the knee, right? Feel like you're energetically dropping through the floor, so you're not doing as I do, which is snapping into the hyperextension of my knee. Breathing in and out. Good. Nice, Robert. Nice, Polly. Palms face your sides. Okay, rest. Then we have our squats next. So wide enough, maybe just about the width of your mat, narrow-wise. 2, 1, squats. Here we go. Bend, exhale, straighten. Inhale and exhale. Bringing your hips back in space. Yes. Right. Inhale to bend, exhale to straighten. Bringing your hips forward and your chest forward as you stand up. Good. 2, 1, rest. Biceps curls. Oh, I forgot this with the step forward. This one. 2, 1, bicep curls, just reaching up and stepping forward. In dance, we call this a tombe, which means to fall. Keeping the chest wide and open. Bring the bottom of the sacrum forward, and then slow your momentum down with the front thigh. Pause, rest. Now we do our steps touch. Either step touch, skater with same arm reaching forward as the leg that's reaching back, or curtsy lunge. So here we go. I'm going to do the skater with reaching forward. I want to do a nice long reach. So you're going side to side. Exhale as you reach. Two, finish up your set and rest. Here we go. Serve a tray, Pilates V. Heels together, toes apart, elbows bent by your sides. Here we go. Start. Not overly generous, not feeding to giants. Yes. Keep bringing the bottom of the sacrum forward as you spiral the heels. That's so much better, Robert. Good. Whew. This is nice, Polly. Really good. And rest. Whew. Wide V. Hug a tray. Hug a tray. Hug a tree. Arms around the level of the waistline, palms face inwards like parentheses, elbows slightly lifted. Bend and straighten. Keep the shoulders rolled back, the chest lifted. Feel the femurs spiraling. As I tell my ballet students, imagine that your knees are going to point backwards as you bend. Right. Robert, your ballet career is imminent, imminent. There's always a need for men in ballet. Last one. Rest. Triceps. So squat position. Swing, pull the arms in with the elbows reaching close to you like a little grasshopper. Here we go. And then stretch the arms behind you. Palms face your midline. Right? So that way you don't find the impediment of the dumbbells or the hand weights. Inhale to bend, exhale to straighten. Feel the mid-back and upper back muscles helping you. Last one, bring the arms down, stand up. Rest the weights. Then we start our cool down, so we'll do some marching here with no weights, just swinging the arms freely. Set the weights down. So loose arms, just like walking. It's like, what is it, the Seven Dwarfs, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to work out we go. Okay, great. And great job. We're going to step side to side, step touch, bring the heart rate down a little bit. 30 seconds goes fast. So, yeah. Feeling your heart rate starting to come down a little bit. We'll stay standing. We'll do some stretching using the ball and the wall. Hand weight time is over, but don't worry, there's still some abdominal work yet to come. So in case you're feeling tired, but man, my abs aren't really worked as much as I would like them to be for a Pilates mat class, it's coming. Okay, coming to a smaller point. The wedding is over, people are going home. Time to stretch. Grab the ball. I will show you up close and then I'll repeat when we do it together at this wall, so you won't be able to see me as easily. Oh, good. So, ball at the wall. Gus is right where I need him to need me. I gotta move you, puppy. You're gonna move over there. Good boy. I just slide him like a anti-swiffer. So, for this one, we will cross the inside, have the ball at the hip bone approximately, cross the inside foot over, actually maybe a little lower, at the hip but not on the body, so you can reach the wall, and then you're going to side stretch over the ball, stretching out the lateral hip, and then come up. So we're not doing any more timers, this is not a timed thing anymore. So stand at the with the ball at your hip and the ball on the wall. Cross the inside foot in front of the outside foot. Be sure you can reach the wall, and then you're going to get to lean over the ball and side stretch. And allow the ball to push your hip away from the wall. So if you want to get yourself closer, it's hard to start, but you've got this inside foot to push over and side stretch. We'll do 3 of those. Good. Keeping both shoulders wide and open. And then we'll change sides. I'm going to go to the other wall. So step as close to the ball with the ball at the hip and the wall. Crossing the so you want to wedge yourself close enough so that the ball stays put. Cross the inside foot in front of the outside foot. Touching the wall, side stretching over the ball. And Robert, shortening the lever, you can touch your hand to the top of the shoulder, and if it's comfortable to bring the elbow up, it might not be, but then you get some opening on that upper thoracic spine. Yeah. Does that feel okay? Good. Okay, great. 3. Let's do one more. Mr. Peanut meets the ball at the wall. So, come off the wall, change back to your first side. Similar idea, that we're standing on the outside leg. So wedge yourself so that the ball is at the hip again, and you want to be able to free the inside foot. Bring it to touch the ankle, or it can just float next to the knee. You can either bring your hands behind your head, advanced, or touch the wall with one hand on the hip, right? Or, yes, or genie arms, that Robert's doing genie arms, that's a good choice. And we're going to hip hike, rolling the ball up the wall, but we're doing the hip hike by dropping the outside hip down. It's very tempting to start raising the thigh up and down. Feel like your hips are a teapot and the spout is pointing out away from the wall. And here I am pouring my water onto my sweet doggy. Earl Grey, Gus? And I observed myself starting to internally rotate my leg like this to try and help hike my hip. That's valid, but try to keep the thigh parallel and the femur pointing down towards the floor. One more time. Oh, my outside hip is getting tired. How about you? I hope so. Okay. Other side. So wedging yourself as close to the wall as possible. So you feel that the ball is almost pushing you away, but you still want to maintain your balance and ground on the outside foot. Bring the inside leg up, hands in the position of your choice, and pour the tea out through the outside hip. So think of the hip bone of the outside hip dropping down and keeping the shin bone as perpendicular to the floor as possible. Observing if you're leaning in towards the wall and shortening that side. Most of us do. That's why I like this hands behind the head version. But you can also achieve the same thing with the genie arms. Just think of open through that inside armpit. One more time. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hands on the ball, a little hamstring stretch. So, standing, bend your knees and get your hands onto the ball. And then you're going to stretch your knees as much as possible, keeping your body in a tabletop. And then you'll bend. So the hands, ball work is always an art, not a science. You want to feel like in your squat here, that your spine is nice and long, your abdominals are pulled in, the legs are as wide as needed, and we're not going into cat and camel. We're just doing a slow straightening of the legs. So if you can't straighten your legs all the way, That's okay. Keep your spine nice and long. And bend. Inhale. Exhale, straighten. I know, Gus, hamstrings are the worst. Are your hamstrings breaking like that? Is that your hamstrings I hear? Straighten. Oh my goodness. You keep going. Robert, keep that mid-back really long. Keep that mid-back really, really long. So the hamstrings, they get tight. So rather than adjusting the spine to accommodate the hamstrings, yes, nice, Polly. Last time here, yeah. I know, oh, you're done. Yeah, you're done, I know. Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, so Robert, just take a break, everybody. This is a hard position. So when we have really tight hamstrings, this is a super ungratifying exercise because there's not a lot of range of motion here unless we round the back, and then you can straighten the legs. But then the hamstrings aren't being challenged in any way. Jean gave me this exercise, actually, Jean Sullivan at Body Work. We usually do it on the barrel, which is higher, so it's easier. You can also do it on your kitchen counter. What I like about the ball is you can bring it into you enough so you could stand on all fours like this. Pull it underneath you. And widen the stance of your legs so that you can keep your sit bones projecting back behind you. And then pull the ball into you as you straighten so that you feel like your spine is staying totally neutral. Collarbones nice and wide. Yeah. So that, and when we do this correctly, I feel like I almost can't straighten my legs. Even me. I've got pretty loose hamstrings now. I've been working on this, right? Because you really feel it up at the insertion up at the top and into the belly of the hamstring. I hope. Okay. Sit back, bring the ball into you, and stand up. Here comes our ab work. Hands behind head, neutral curl-ups. So we get to the wall. So Polly, you might want to bring your camera so that you can see me because we'll be facing the wall. And Robert, I don't know if you can't do the same because you have your desktop, right? So have a gander, and as you make your adjustments. So this is sitting. Let me adjust my camera too, so you can see me a bit better. So you sit on the ball, but you're not sitting on the apex of the ball. You're kind of getting yourself wedged in. So you're almost parallel to the floor, maybe a little bit more so that you can feel, you can get your pelvis supported by the ball. The sit bones are pointing down towards the floor, and we are not doing bridging here. We are doing neutral abdominals. So Robert, do you have a towel? You might want to bring a towel behind your neck, like a sling, to hold on either side of your head, so you can do this for your shoulder. Otherwise, you put your hands behind your head. So, yeah. So you're sitting, right, Polly, that's good. So be sure that you want to still be focusing your pelvis downward towards the floor. And I almost feel like I'm kind of sitting on a little lip of the ball. So I definitely feel wedged in. The balls of my feet are up on the wall. My heels are on the floor. And that's to take some of this work out of the quads. It's a lot of quads if your feet are flat on the floor. So this is why we do it up against the wall. Good. Yeah, Robert, that looks good. So hands behind head, arching back as far as you possibly can go, which might not touch the ball. That's fine. Exhale, keep the pelvis neutral. Feel you're bringing the bottom of the ribs back into the ball, and you're coming up into a neutral spine position. And then you inhale, arch back. And exhale, curl up to neutral. Observing if your pelvis, so Robert, you have to sit down along the ball. Sit down more rather than lean back more. Inhale, arching back. We're going to do 10. So getting yourself into position, Polly. Start kind of at the front of the ball. Wedge your feet in. hold the ball with your hands, and then you can, or your elbows, and you kind of bounce yourself down a little bit. Right, yeah. And then arching back over the ball and curling up to neutral. If you're pressed back and your hips are more open, that's fine. It's just a little bit less stable on the ball. We've got to be done at least. One more time. Good. Bring your hands to the ball. Push with your legs. And come up. Okay. So yeah, as we continue to refine this through the month, I'll work on a better way of explaining how to get into this. I think it's like you have to be almost with your legs straight so that you can pull yourself in and sit down. I think that's part of it. Because otherwise we get stuck kind of up here, which is fine, but we just don't get as much range of motion as if we are lower down. And we miss out on that proprioceptive feedback of the bottom ribs being able to leverage into the ball, so then you're in this nice incline plank, and that's where the abdominal work is. You also get abdominal work here, it's not wrong. It's just different. Okay. Bridging with feet on the ball. Okay. So, just moving this out of the way. The good news is we get to lie down now. So we're coming to the floor with the ball. Lying on the side. Lying down onto your back, and put your feet up. Put your feet up onto the ball. Whew. So hands by your sides, palms facing down. My feet are apart on the ball, just about a fist different distance, excuse me. And my shins are parallel, or my thighs are parallel. And we're going to keep the ball still, and we're going to roll up and down. So you're going to press down and feel a sense of pulling the ball in using the backs of the legs as you lift your hips up, and then go down. We're going to do 10. And rolling up. Really push down with the arms, open the chest, palms face down to help use the back of the shoulder to help support yourself. Good. Try to articulate the low spine as much as possible because this is challenging. So we're trying to use the abdominals. That's good, Polly. Nice. Robert, I can't see your pelvis, but I know you're doing great. I'm at 5, I think. Keep pulling the ball into you, Polly, as you come up. Yeah. Two more times, I think. Yeah, I know. One more time. And down. Then we have, oh my gosh. How much time do we have? Okay, so now we're going to open the legs and pull the ball into you using your feet. Okay, so you have your knees are bent. It's a big groin stretch because the ball is pretty big. And I'm allowing my femurs to internally rotate. You can do it with external rotation, that's also fine. But I'm trying to do internal rotation so that when I bring my knees towards me, they have some place to go. So I feel like I'm serving the ball up to the ceiling, and I'm going to switch it to my hands. Bring your legs to tabletop. Good. And squeeze the legs together. So you basically pull the ball using the legs to your hands and toss it into your arms. From tabletop, with the ball in your hands, you're going to inhale, reach back with the arms as far as you feel comfortable or not. And then exhale, bring the ball into between the shins and touch the floor with the ball. It's like a toe tap, and then we switch. So Robert, if you don't want to reach back with the arms, you can just do a double toe tap with the ball straight up. And then switch. So ball between the shins, arms can reach back. Switch the ball to the hands, legs together in tabletop. Reach the ball back. And switch. So you keep switching. I used to hate this one. I really love it now. The inner thigh work is great. It's shocking how heavy the ball is. This is the fun I was talking about, Polly. Last set. Ending with the arms. And then put your feet down, bring the ball onto your stomach while I figure out what's next, because we just have, oh yeah, okay. Just 2 more things here. Bring the ball onto the floor, put your legs out onto the floor. Sorry, onto the ball. Put your legs onto the ball. The ball's on the floor. If your legs are hyperextended, have the back of the knee supported by the ball, and that you're going to work to straighten your legs. If your legs are not hyperextended, you can just put the lower part of the calf on the ball, and that will be fine. From here, what we're going to do, you bring your legs all the way together. You're going to take one leg up, and we're going to do some leg circles. So top leg can be bent, or it can be straight. And it's more like a D ring. So lower down, open to the side, and around and up. So the bent leg version looks like this. So you're staying as stable as possible. You're not in a bridge, but you're actively pushing down through the ball leg. 3. And you can open your arms wide to a wide V. 4. And then reverse. I'm going to straighten my leg for this reverse. And 2, really grounding, and be sure that you're not bracing through the abdominal wall, that you're bringing the transverse abdominis in. 4. Put the leg down and change sides. So I'll show the bent leg version to start. I'm going down and open to start. And 2, 3. We did our leg circles when we were on our all fours kneeling in our circuit. 4. And reverse, I'll straighten. And now we're doing it in the front direction. 2. Grounding through the opposite hip. 3. Softening the ribs. 4. Good. Rest the legs on the ball. Pull the ball in and rest your calves on top of the ball. Arms go out to a sad T, if that makes sense. So below the shoulders, collarbones wide and open. Keep the legs squeezing together, and you're going to spiral the legs simultaneously, rolling across the back of the pelvis and looking away from the ball. So have the knees bent, calves resting on the top of the ball or the bottom of the calf, and then going side to side. Easy. Feel the stretch from as you spiral the ball to the right, you feel a stretch from the right ear. And then when you spiral the ball to the left, you feel a stretch to the left ear because you're looking away. Left side of the neck out through the arm. Keep the lower ribs softening down towards the floor. This exercise does kind of walk you forward a little bit. Really roll across the back curves of the pelvis, the back curve of the head, and the back curve of the lower ribs. Keep squeezing the legs actively together. 1 more set each side. Come center. Turn your palms to face up in a low V. Breathing fully and deeply. Expanding the rib cage with air. A little Pilates Shavasana, if you will. If you want your eyes closed, that's fine. Feel the ribs expanding through the floor on the inhale and softening into the floor from the front as you exhale. Releasing any tension in the neck, the fronts of the shoulders. One more breath. So from there, walk the ball away from you so you can bring your feet onto the floor one at a time. And then roll over onto your side. Take a moment. Align the hips, align the knees, align the shoulders. Adjust yourself so you can push with the top and the bottom arm. And come up to sitting. And then we're going to come to stand. I'm just a few minutes late. Come to squat. 3 minutes late. Not too shabby for me. Hey. Alrighty. Thank you. We're done. I'm going to stop my videos.